But right before Our Lady clothed with the sun shows up in chapter 12 of the Apocalypse, right before, in chapter 11, in the final verses, the seventh angel blows its seventh trumpet. Apocalypse chapter 11 also includes Judgment Day. Apocalypse 11 sun cycles we find in the center the year 2012, but it is not the end, but the beginning of a 20-year Catan cycle from 2012 through 2032. The Mayan Chalam Balam book says, Catan 13 Ahau, this is a time of total collapse, where everything is lost. It is the time of the judgment of God. On the Tilma not only relates to Catan cycles, but also to creation patterns, world ages, or as the natives call them, suns, the apocalypse, star on earth. The flute player flower on Mary's womb announced instantly to the Indians the truth of the apparitions, the truth of what she said to Juan Diego, the truth of the rest of the information on her miraculous image. Noted right, but Our Lady of Guadalupe is using Mayan artwork, which is the opposite, with the future. So let's use our ears to access the divine information on her tilma, where a golden spiral connects the four-petal flower includes the stars of the Pleiades, which has 7 stars, which may be the angels of the 7 churches. And if we look at the stars, Father Mario and Dr. Liskus first published in 1983 that the stars on her tilma's mantle matched the stars in the sky over Mexico on the morning of the winter solstice in the year 1531 at around 10:40 a.m. in the morning, perhaps at the time that Juan Diego was opening his tilma right in front of Bishop Zamarga's eyes. The stars on the tilma that Father Mario and Dr. Liskus found look like this, as they appear wrapped around on her mantle. This is not the only star map on the tilma. There are actually 2. The map that Father Mario found could be called the heaven map on her mantle, stars held by the angel's right arm. But in native tradition, many times there are 2 maps, one for the sky and one for the ground. What I'm getting ready to disclose now, the second map, this may be the first time this is being publicly disclosed. So said, I mean the change in the rising and setting of the sun and other heavenly bodies, and how in those times they used to set in the quarter where they now rise, and they used to rise where they now set. What Plato is saying is the sun, instead of rising in the east, in the west, and then in the east, then in the west. And notice on the Hopi Bear Clan tablet, the 5 world ages have alternating symbols, have this white robe person saying, I am the beginning and the end. The same words found in the book of the Apocalypse, chapter 22, verse 13, where Jesus says, I am the beginning and the end. And just a few verses later, Jesus says, I am the bright and morning star, and the Hopi white-robed person is wearing a large white star on their head. The Hopi emergence story may be connected to a mural at Teotihuacan in Mexico. Teotihuacan is a very ancient place and is home to the Pyramid of the Sun shown here. Pyramid of the Sun, changes of the sun, world ages, and sunrise and sunset. On the map below, this is where Teotihuacan is located, and nearby is Tepeyac Hill, where Our Lady of Guadalupe's tilma appeared. Volcano activity and the lack of magnetic fields allowing more cosmic radiation to come in and bombard the Earth on the ground. Magnetic reversals are also associated with North Pole and South Pole movement, and magnetic field reversals are also associated with ice ages. More important information is found in Robert Felix's book Magnetic Reversals. On page 94, it says, "What is so surprising is that rapid, almost sudden changes take place in the Earth's magnetic field, oil to rain from the sky. But other things may be also happening on Earth right now, indicating a change in magnetic fields. Other stories possibly relating to magnetic field changes concern earthquakes. In the month of German magazine in October 1981 reported that Pope John Paul II said to a group of German Catholics at Fulda in November 1980 about the third secret the following: "If there is a message in which it is written that the oceans will flood whole areas of the earth, and that from one moment to the next millions of people will perish, truly the publication of such a message is no longer something to be so much desired." This was said by Pope John Paul II to a group of traditional German Catholics at Fulda, Germany, when they asked him about the third secret. The Virgin Mary has warned of another event that might be related to magnetic reversals and changes of world cycles, and that event is the 3 days of darkness. At Quito, Ecuador, Mary said, "God will send two punishments. One will be in the form of wars, revolutions, and other evils. It shall originate on earth. The other will be sent from heaven. There shall come over the whole earth an intense darkness lasting 3 days and 3 nights. Nothing can be seen, and the air will be laden with pestilence." The 3 days of darkness is also mentioned in the Bible in the book of Exodus. We might see this. At Guadalupe, the sixth apparition on December 22nd, 1531, involved the Tilma of the sun. Sister Lucia also told us that the third secret of Fatima related to chapters 8 to 13 of the Apocalypse. Notice there are 6 chapters, 8 through 13, which may be lined up with the 6 apparitions at Fatima. Most of those apparitions took place on the 13th of the month, and as we saw earlier, 13 was the prophet's number. In chapter 8 of the Apocalypse it says there were thunders and voices and lightnings and a great earthquake. It was at this apparition the children were given a vision of hell relating to judgment, and they were also given the third secret of Fatima. This is interesting because this apparition aligns with Apocalypse chapter 11, which contains Judgment Day. Notice in this picture, in Christ's left hand, is the Book of Life used for Judgment Day. A great sign appeared in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun, and the moon under her feet, and on her head a crown of 12 stars. And being with child, she cried, travailing in birth, Our Lady of Guadalupe, Our Lady of the sixth sun, the next world age, the new sun.